Hi, welcome back to Jill and Hugh Barbecue. Today we're going to cook this gammon on the Big Joe 3, but we're going to cook it on the Jotisserie. And Jill's going to run through with you all the pre-cook preparation that's already been done.
Hi, this is a 2.3 kilogram unsmoked gammon joint from a supermarket. It's not from our usual fairly good quality butcher because we didn't have time to get there. And because therefore it's from a supermarket and I don't know what cure was used for the joint, I've pre-soaked it. I've soaked it for 24 hours in cold water, sprinkled with a little demerara sugar to ease out the salt, hopefully. I changed the water twice within that 24-hour period, and to be fair, the water was not particularly cloudy, so it's looking quite hopeful. The joint came with the skin on, obviously, so this morning I've removed the skin because it's quite thick, it's going to be inedible and not very nice, and any rub that we put over is not going to absorb in. So the skin, I've already taken it off because you don't want to watch me doing that. And so we're down to the fat, and we've rolled the joint back together because it was a little bit loose, and tied some string round. So I'm going to start off by just putting a thin coat of mustard on so that any rub that we use adheres to it. So just a little bit of standard American mustard, so not a huge flavour in it. I'm only going to go over the fat, not going to touch the actual meat, so that you get the contrast between that lovely ham and the rub that goes on top. So the rub that I've already prepared is fairly simple. It's 1.5 teaspoons of black pepper and then half a teaspoon each of allspice, nutmeg and ground cinnamon, and just mix that around a bit, and we're just going to coat that over the fat. And we're not looking for a huge bark on this, but just a bit of flavour. Where it's gone over the sides, I can roll it in to the sides so that I don't have to turn it over and get the rub possibly on the meat. So now that I've got the rub over the fat of the joint, I'm going to stud some cloves into it. I've already scored the fat. Try not to go through to the meat. In fact, I did in a couple of places, but hey, it is what it is. And then later on, the skin that I've removed here, I might try and do some crackling with that just to see how that goes, but that will be done in the oven. So now I'm going to hand you back to Hugh, who's going to put the joint onto the Jotisserie.
This smells really, really festive. I know it's January, but this is still Christmas because it's still the holidays, really. Now, I'm going to put the gammon on the skewer for the Big Joe. I've already measured it, so I know that that is going to be here. It's exactly halfway through. So this is going to go right in the middle of, and it should come out in the middle. There we go. So now I'm going to push this in so those go right up to there, like that. This one goes, that's it, so the prongs don't touch each other. In like that. Tighten this up. Make sure it doesn't come undone, which it won't. The Big Joe is up to temperature, and this is now ready to go on the Big Joe. So we'll see you out at the pit, on the patio. So before I put the gammon on the Big Joe, let me just show you how I've set up the fire basket. As you can see, there's 4 fire lighters in here, and I'm going to light these with my my little blowtorch. And once all 4 are lit, and sometimes they're a little bit hard to get going, That's it, last one. That's now alight. Now we've got a good fire going in the fire basket. I'm going to add a couple of lumps of cherry wood. Right, the cherry wood's in, so that should start producing smoke. I'm going to close the Big Joe now and let it come up to temperature. Unfortunately, with the rotisserie in place, the Big Joe doesn't actually seal properly. So in order to keep the smoke in and the temperature under control, I have to use a 6 kilogram weight on a bit of a bungee. So while our gammon is spinning on the rotisserie, we're going to make a glaze to go on top of it. So the glaze, we're going to start with a 1/4 cup of orange juice, half a teaspoon of cinnamon, an 1/8 cup of Dijon mustard, not the easiest thing to get all of it in, but a 1/2 cup of brown sugar, a 1/4 cup of maple syrup, and probably the most important ingredient, a 1/2 cup of bourbon. This is a Knob Creek small batch bourbon. Right, we're going to mix all of this together and put it on the hob and bring it up to a simmer. Right, so here we are out of the Joe. Our gammon is looking good. We're just going to put our glaze on it. We've probably got about 30 minutes to go before this is actually ready. So we're going to cover it with glaze now. We'll probably reduce the glaze a little bit more and then come back and put some more on in about 15-20 minutes. I wish you could smell this, because this really does smell amazing. I also want to get some actually on the meat as well. Let's get some glaze all over here too. In all the little nooks and crannies like that would go. Okay, so I'm going to shut the Joe back down and come back in about 20 minutes and see how we're doing.
Oh, it's already...
Right, so it's been another 20 minutes and we've reduced the sauce, the glaze down, and we're going to give it the final basting, and this is now probably 2 or 3 degrees away from being ready to come in and rest.
Oh, this is a much better consistency now. Oh.
This should bake hard on the ham.
This little bit to put on when it's in. Yeah, that's enough.
So we should be ready now. So if we open the Big Joe, oh, that looks good. That does look good. We'll give it a quick check with the thermopen. Yep. Yeah, I think this is done. Right, so our gammon has rested for 20 minutes. We've covered it again with our glaze, and now it's carve time. And I'm using my new ham carver. Ooh. Oh my goodness.
That looks nice.
Mm.
Can you get it a bit thinner?
I can give it a go. Oh yes, I can get it much thinner. This knife is so nice.
Okay, time for a taste test, I think, don't you?
I do. Yeah.
So let's put it onto a plate.
Turn one of those bits over. Which is the end bit?
The end bit is...
That's what we're
Yeah.
trying. Let's cut that in half. Let's cut that in half. And let's just hold it like slice it. There we go. And let's slice that again and we'll taste this bit.
It's a bit slippery.
There we go.
Well, I have the tiny bit because bourbon's not really my thing. It might be now.
So sweet. No salt.
Oh, there's no salt at all, really.
No.
Well, there is, but just enough. Oh my goodness. That's much better than the one we cooked last time.
Oh yeah.
No, there is salt, but
It
it's
comes
the
afterwards.
right amount of salt for a ham.
Yeah. Oh, I just a clove. Oh my goodness. Well, that's all we've got left out of all that that ham I carved. And if we could eat that bit, we would, but we're full of ham right now. The ham was soft, juicy, tender, melt in the mouth. Now, if you like what you saw, please give it a big thumbs up. If you want to see more, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell. If you would like to see us do anything, leave it in the comments below. So if you like what we've done, tell us. If you don't like what we've done, tell us. If you'd like to see us do anything else, please tell us and we'll try and do it. So we're still learning and we'd like everybody else to learn with us. So thank you for watching. See you next time.